welcome to Atooi Talks, episode 5? I think it's 5. It's 5, isn't it, Perry?
Tis.
I am one of the hosts, Jools, and my co-host is Perry.
Thank you. I am Perry, and welcome to Atooi Talks.
Booshki.
It is the weekly show where Jools and Perry talk about making games together and playing games together.
Oh!
That stole from me this week.
You did. I mean, and that's good because I completely forgot to say that. Oh! Nice. What are we going to do, Perry? What are we going to do?
Yeah, and it's funny because we have 70% making games, 30% playing games. We might shift that a little bit this week.
I think you're right on that one. I think you're right. I think we have some fun stuff to talk about. So
we do have fun stuff to talk about.
It's all video games. It's 100% video games. Actually, that's probably not true, but that's the intent anyway.
Right, and that's what. Yeah,
it's some
absolutely.
Puppy talk.
We make games, but we love games as well.
We do a lot.
You know, and I actually, funnily enough, I do know a lot of people in the industry, the video game industry, and they don't play games that much. You know, just because they have no time, because it's so time consuming, and you know, it's almost like work. I don't know
if it's a time thing, because I actually went through a phase where I fell out of love with games. This was a long time ago. But I think it was related to my work, though, you know, because making games became a job. When I was working at Iguana, whatever it was called at the time, Iguana was bought by Acclaim. So I don't know when the transition happened. So Iguana Acclaim. And, you know, and it was because I was working on stuff maybe I wasn't particularly thrilled about. You know, like NFL Quarterback Club, you know, it's a football game. I'm not really into football. I don't dislike it. It's not my thing. So making lots of little character sprites and stuff for that wasn't particularly fun. Or doing UI.
What system was that for?
Super Nintendo was the original Super Nintendo, and then later they did 3DO, another weird platform.
That's cool.
So, anyway, but I think but anyway, I fell back in love with it. I think more so when we started Renegade Kid.
And it's funny because it's such a passionate industry because there's fans. I mean, obviously nowadays there's podcasts about every industry, but now there's lots of video game podcasts, lots of big communities. And it's funny because on my other podcast, you know, we'll have, over the years, been going for over 5 years, and we'll have people on, like we had you on, and we'll have other devs on. There's people and it definitely, you get that vibe from them. And it's like,
yeah,
it's like, oh, they're just
like you got from me. Like, this guy is dead inside, clearly jaded, past his prime, lost the love.
No, but that's the funny thing is like, most people that we have on aren't like that. But I was surprised. It's like, don't you realize how cool your job is? You know,
but some people you can tell it is a job, and that can be okay, I suppose. If I don't know, it's a tough one. I'm fortunate to be in a position where I get to be part of the very seed planting of a new idea, and that's really where the excitement and passion and love is where, you know, when you're involved in what are we going to make and why are we making it, how are we going to make it, and obviously you and I have a lot of those discussions of what are we working on and why on earth are we making it, and that's really freaking fun, rather than the other version being you work at a company, you love doing artwork, design, or whatever you might do, and you're kind of given tasks to perform, and that can be really fun and satisfying, but you're not really part of the main beating heart of the game, the product you're working on. You're doing a very specific sliver of that, and for me personally, that's not satisfying. It's just not, and it's not something I have a choice on. I just have discovered that does not satisfy me. And that's why I fell out of love with games, because it just became a job. And yeah, you get busy with other stuff. But I think once you're involved in the very beating heart of the game, always barking at the UPS guy come by. I don't know if he has anything for us today, but Ollie will tell us if we do. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so on to the show.
On to the show.
The update this week is really kind of more of the same, which is fun for us, but maybe not so fun to talk about. But, you know, making great progress on the art, of course, which is mainly myself, and music, of course, which is Perry.
That's right. Yeah. I've been, I got a lot of fun feedback off the song that we shared last week. and
Ollie.
Ollie
Ollie
loves it.
loves it. He's raving about it right now.
Yeah,
In fact,
and I've been working on the ghost
yes.
song, which is, and it's gone through. I mean, I've had it done for years, but I'm going back through it again, with like new inspirations, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really changed,
That's fun,
and
man.
it's an important song because there's a ghost level in
Every
each
world.
world,
Yeah, that's right.
and so it kind of pops out, and it's
Yeah.
actually one of those things where I love that we've, how we've changed the campaign, honestly, because of the chicken wiggle. When you play through it, I wouldn't have even noticed that there was a ghost level in each world, like
Mm-hmm.
just because the
Isn't that
way that it was
interesting?
highlighted, it wasn't really highlighted on the outer menu.
Right. You don't know beforehand. You only discover once you've
Mm-hmm.
opened up the
Right,
box. Gone
right.
into the level, and that's part of the problem with Chicken Wiggle and what we've addressed with Hatch Tales.
Yeah, it's really so you see. Oh, I'm entering. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
in Super Mario World. You see the
Yeah.
ghost,
You're like, oh, we're
the
going to
haunted
the ghost
mansion.
house.
That's fun.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we've talked a lot about this over the years. Is that setting player expectation um, authentically, properly. To set up the correct this is big, this is small, this is going to be grand, this is going to be small, whatever. It's setting up the expectation so the scale is correct for what you're delivering
Mm-hmm.
is really important. But also, yeah, just communication, right? Just like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, there's a ghost stage every third level, and you can
Mm-hmm.
see the ghost tower as you can on Hatch
Mm-hmm.
Tales. And yeah,
Yeah,
and we've talked about this recently as well because of something else, that we're just huge fans of, just haunted, ghosty themed
absolutely.
games and stuff. So
There's
it's
something really magical about, and the fun thing enough
yeah.
about funnily enough, the ghost, like the ghost levels of Super Mario World, iconic, like incredible, love them to death. I
Mm-hmm.
don't necessarily like the gameplay of them as much as the
Mm.
other levels. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how they kind of
Interesting. Yeah,
have
yeah,
that find the door, find the right
yeah,
pathway. I've never been a fan of those big, like
yeah.
compared to the other stuff. And
They do push the
yeah,
mischievous mystery a little too far. I mean, because that basic concept's really fun. Like,
yeah,
oh, the rules are kind of broken now. The ghosts
yeah.
are
I
up to
don't. Yeah,
something. That's super fun. But in some of the levels, they push it to the point of, okay. I mean, I'm not in on the joke. I just don't know where
right,
it is. I'm just going to have to bang on
right,
this wall. Ah, there's the door. I mean, you get
right.
through it
And
eventually, but you're kind of like, okay.
I
It's a fine
I
line.
found I love how they did with Mario 3D World, and then I actually, funnily enough, like
Mm-hmm.
again, I love like everything about it besides like the main gameplay. But the
Right.
Captain Toad, I
Mm-hmm.
think fits. Captain Toad has has the haunted ghost levels. I think it fits that
They look
gameplay.
so
It's a lot
good.
slower. It's almost Luigi's Mansion like. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a little more
Yeah.
creepy, cute little Toad. It's just a different
Yeah.
feeling. I love Captain Toad's ghost levels.
Mm.
I love ghost levels
Gosh,
in general. But yeah,
Captain
ironically,
Toad, what a great game! I
oh
think
yeah, one of my
we could talk
favorites.
about that every episode. Honestly, it's such a good
We
game.
should. We really should.
It's so much to that game. I mean,
I
I
know.
imagine it was a pretty successful game, but probably not half as successful as it should be. Honestly, God, that's a
Yeah,
good
it's
game.
cool that it's on 3DS, Wii U, and Switch, and
Yeah,
had DLC
amazing.
randomly that came out. But I do
Was
love
that
that
for
everyone who
episode two,
played.
or what was the DLC? Was that
Yeah, they came
episode
out with
two?
like it came
Oh
out. No, no,
no.
that was all in there. It came out
Okay.
with some multiplayer levels, and then they added multiplayer co-op to the whole game. That
Okay.
was like a big update.
Yeah.
Uh,
Interesting.
but I just love how everyone who played. I bet you could like go through like I bet you could look at a bunch of reviews for 3D World when it came out from like
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago. By the way, which is insane. It's a
Mm-hmm.
long time ago,
Totally, dude.
and everyone says, "Oh, I love these Captain Toad. It could be its own game."
Yeah. Yep.
And then they
And
came out with that. I
which
just
is glorious.
and greatly expanded upon, and just to me,
What a
Captain
game.
Toad is like peak Nintendo.
It's one of the best kind of, I guess, puzzle games, I guess, adventure platform. I guess it's not really platforming, but
You
just
know, it is. It
just
is a
delightful.
platform.
It's
It's
so
like a yeah,
charming.
yeah,
Just so good.
very good, very fun.
Yeah. Um, so back to Hatch Tales. So that's going really well with the art and the music, and we'll have more specifics to share again soon in the future on that. On the RBR Secret Casual Online Party game. Same as before, we're in the testing phase. That's going really well. We're actually expecting a build fairly soon that we'll be jumping into. And yeah, that's going really well. So hopefully more specifics on that also soon. But that is actually coming close to the end because it is a rather small game, and it's also Phil who's working on it. So it is a separate track to Higgon Higgity Hatchtails, which is still going and getting close to the end, but not quite as close as RBR is, funnily enough. But that is the nature of the beast. On to questions. If you would
Questions
be so kind
time.
to ask the first one, Perry Thouthers.
I would. This comes from YouTube.
Yeah.
Is that the name? Is it
Yeah.
RIP AST?
RIP AST. I don't know what
RIP
that means.
AST. I don't know.
Probably something
I don't
rude.
know if you've been asked this. So Jools, I don't know if you've been asked this before, but as a Renegade Kid fan, I wanted to know if you've considered taking back the Dementium and the Moon IP for future games.
Pretty interesting question, because we do get asked about those games quite a bit, especially Dementium.
We had our big Dementium 3 news flash last
That's right. That's right. Cheeky. And for those that don't know, obviously Dementium was the first game that Renegade Kid released, that Greg and I did together way back when on the DS. And then Moon was our second game as Renegade Kid, funnily enough. And First-person shooters, yep. Dementium's obviously on the horror, and Moon is a little bit more on the action, sci-fi. Anyway, but when Greg and I ended Renegade Kid, went and created our separate studios, went our own way, then Atooi got the 2D stuff, and his company, Infotismo, got the 3D stuff, which included Moon and Dementium. So anyway, so that's who owns it, is his company. Unfortunately, Greg did pass away a number of years ago, sadly. So his wife, assumes ownership of Infotismo stuff, and that's who has it right now. So who knows about the future of where, if they'll take it anywhere, if I end up, taking, or not taking it back, but acquiring ownership of it, who knows? But there's no current plans for that to happen, but that's kind of where it's at. So yeah, it's possible I may work on a Dementium game someday, absolutely. But it's certainly as more possible that I'd probably create a new horror IP in the future. In fact, we've developed a few ideas internally. We just haven't pursued them wholeheartedly yet. But anyway, horror is definitely something I want to get back to in the future, and plan on doing so. Anyway, so there's that question. I hope that answers it. It's not very black and white. It's pretty gray, that whole area. So yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed. I love Dementium. I would love to go back to it.
We need to, after Hatchtails releases, do a new campaign DLC horror mode. M-rated.
Oh my gosh.
Changes the rating of the game.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh my gosh. All right, on to the next question. A general question I'll ask for Perry Thallerton. Which Nintendo franchise would you be most excited to work on?
That is a tough question, obviously.
Dude, it is.
Only because, and this is going to sound like I don't know, cliche or whatever, but like very intimidating to work on Nintendo stuff to me. Because it's so inspiring. And so it's like their game design is amazing. And that's honestly, like Miyamoto, obviously, you hear that name a lot. In fact, a lot of people, that might be the only game designer they could really, mention.
Definitely.
He is so not overrated. I think he is such a genius. I really think that.
Yeah.
I truly. I'm not saying that everything he does is incredible, but everything he does is incredible. So it's a tough one. I guess it's like, just as a pure fan, I'd love to work on a Wario game.
Mm-hmm. I had a feeling that might be in there.
Yeah, I love Wario.
Yeah, you're a huge Wario fan.
I just love everything about what Wario is, how it's a spinoff, how he's an anti-hero, how he's a good guy and a bad guy when needed.
Yeah.
How, he wears a cowboy hat when he plays golf. I just love everything about Wario.
He's so goofy. He's a villain, but like you say, he's not.
And and I love that he's a catch-all, and that he started they put the WarioWare, that franchise, tied it to him and his wacky nature. And Super Mario Land 2 is like one of my favorite games. And it's just so probably Wario. I'd love to do some sort of a
Nice.
Wario game, and
Yeah, man, that makes total sense.
even if platformer or
whatever that
WarioWare,
means, right?
whatever.
That's what's interesting about him. He's gone in many different directions or genres.
Exactly. What about you, Jules?
I've been asked that before, and honestly, I would actually probably have to decline, which I know is such a snobby thing to say, but I don't think I could handle working with Nintendo in that regard.
I know, that's what I mean, right?
Because I wouldn't be given
It's
the
so
freedom
different.
that I would want. You know, they would basically be controlling what I do. So, and that to me just doesn't sound like fun. You know, and
It's a
rightly
different
so.
culture, isn't
It's
it?
their brand. They own it. They have absolute right to do that. But to me, that wouldn't be fun. I would be a hired gun to do their bidding, and that's great and a huge honor, of course. But I don't know, I'm so spoiled now. I love that we get to make our own games.
Okay, but let's say that
So if they gave
give
you
you.
carte blanche, yeah, to be like, hey, do your thing.
Let's
That
say if
is
it's like you
tough.
have the IP, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that is tough.
No strings attached.
Yeah.
You're like Pokemon. Mr. Pokemon over here.
I am Mr. Pokemon right now. You know, I probably would actually maybe potentially take Mario because it's such a toolbox of fun to play with. If I had complete freedom, that would be fun because there still is space there to explore, I think, whether it's 2D or 3D. Yeah, so probably Mario, which is
I should have said Donkey Kong too. I love Donkey Kong as well.
You're a huge Donkey Kong fan.
Basically for the same reasons.
Cool. There we go. So there we go. There's our questions for this week. Added a new little thing in for this week. Excuse me. Added a new thing in there this week instead of announcements because we don't really have anything to announce. Was Nintendo Direct highlights, which I thought would be fun because that happened. And it happened actually the day after or the day of, I think, of last week's somewhere.
Yes.
We recorded before it happened anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So I thought it'd be fun for us to chat about that. And what do you want to say about that, Perry?
Well, I guess we can kind of go through. I mean, there's lots of different highlights. One smaller thing that wasn't Nintendo, but the Klonoa remakes.
Good call.
That's something I'm looking forward. I've never played it before, and seeing those, it's
You're
like,
gonna love it.
Goodness, those games look incredible.
I mean,
so I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I'm looking for. I played them when they came out, both GBA and PlayStation 1, 2, whatever it came out on, whatever it was. Maybe Dreamcast as well. I'm not sure what platforms they came on, but I played 1 and 2, and also the GBA one. So I don't know what the ones are releasing on. Obviously the 3D one, so obviously not the GBA one. Yeah, because GBA obviously was 2D, which was a good game though. I played them when they came out, but I'm really looking forward to go back to play them again and see them now because I remember at the time they were great. I mean, they were very well designed, artwork, very tight, very well produced, like high quality stuff. Pretty much a 2D platformer, but in a 3D world. So you get to take advantage of the camera and just the dynamic nature of it all. My memories of it are top quality. Like, wow, very well done. So it'd be interesting to go back to it now and play it and go, are they that good? I think so. We'll find out. I'm looking forward to find out. And that's physical. So you're thinking physical or digital in that puppy?
I don't know. Probably physical.
You're physical, you think?
Again,
yeah?
Well, I think so. I'm going digital on everything that I return to. So, like, I want to buy Mario Kart 8 because of the Booster Course Pass DLC that's coming out. Like, even though I have it physically, I'm looking for a deal to buy that digitally because it's just so nice having it there. And I really have been like diving back in to play. Like I bought Katamari Damacy, one of my favorite games. I bought it digitally because sometimes I just jump in and I play the last level of it because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's like a little therapy session of like a half hour where I play. It's just great to do it, and like going in, like I love that I bought Captain Toad. I got that like there was like a weird thing that happened where Walmart was giving away like the DLC plus the full game accidentally, and I picked it up and I got it for like $4. So I got that.
Oh my gosh.
And it proved to be amazing because it's really fun to go back and it's like I wish I had like 3D world and anyway. But yeah, games that I think are kind of more like I'll revisit them every few years. It's like physical, why not?
Yeah, good call on the Klonoa. Actually, I didn't actually add that to our notes. I forgot. Yeah, that's going to be great. And that's in what, June? May? June? I
No
remember.
idea.
I thought they'd set a date. Anyway, that's going to be a fun one. Nintendo Switch Sports. Interesting.
I
Lovely
played this.
Sports. You did. How was it?
It's amazing. I
It was
mean,
great.
I really liked
Obviously
it.
very
Yes.
Joy-Con-tastic, I imagine.
I played. Yes.
Motion?
I played tennis.
Mm.
The
We didn't get to sort of talk
swords
about this. Very cool.
and the
Did you say sword?
bowling. Yeah, there's like a katana. It's called like Chanbara,
Okay.
something like that. I can't remember.
Right.
But it's cool. It's like it's swords based, and it actually is way more fun than I thought it would
Interesting.
be.
Right.
Because
Huh.
it's kind of like one-on-one dueling, and you get to pick your own.
Huh.
Like, there's like 3 different things to pick from. There's like a dual wielding one where you can do both your Joy-Cons.
Uh-huh.
There's a single sword, and there's one more that I can't remember. I tried the dual wielding and I tried the single. I like both, but basically, you're just you hold the Joy-Cons, you hold the shoulder buttons
Mm-hmm.
for like it turns it into a block. So
Oh,
you just want
cool.
to hit the other
Interesting.
player
Yeah.
in the perpendicular hit.
Perpendicular.
Right. Oh no, you
Right.
don't want to. You want to hit them parallel to whatever they're going.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So really
So what's the
fun, and
general-
actually, and it was
Yeah.
all online, right? So I thought it might be kind of lame,
Wow.
janky, and but
Interesting.
it was
Yeah.
actually really fun. Like, we'll have a
Yeah.
blast playing. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, it
Nice.
was
That's
like
gonna be cool.
actual skill, and then
Did
bowling
they talk
felt
about?
fantastic.
Yeah. Did they talk about whether that's subscription or is it just no? You buy it and that's it, or
Well, it's a physical game, so
okay? Because they did that
it's
weird
physical, and it
subscription
comes
thing on the Wii U, didn't they? Remember that was weird. Was it for that or
Yeah,
something else? That was some
but they
weird
also
thing.
did it. They did both. It was a very experimental. Yeah, Wii Sports Club, which was awesome. You could
Great
like
idea.
rent it
Yeah,
for like a
but it was
day for like
peculiar in practice. It was like
really, and you could buy each one separately for $9.99, and then you could buy the main game
yeah.
for.
But this
you could
is
save $10,
one
and I remember
game.
doing that.
You buy it, boom.
Yeah. And
But yeah, that
so
looks fun. That was a nice
that
surprise.
was awesome.
I mean,
that was
honestly,
awesome.
that should have been a launch game, right? I mean, it was ridiculous
really
that
should
we're 5
have.
years later.
You're right.
Or however many
Well,
years it is.
well, again, yeah. As a fan, yes. As knowing marketing, it makes so much sense that they didn't do that because they wanted to rip away from that. They wanted to they have a new identity now, like they really do.
Yeah,
I think they feel
But, I
kind of
mean,
comfortable.
Or at least, I remember at the time, even if it wasn't a direct, hey, it's Wii Sports again on the Switch, how lame. I can see the stigma with that.
Yeah.
At least do something that's very family, multiplayer group based, which it didn't have a ton of.
They did the 1-2 switch.
Exactly.
Remember that?
Yeah,
And
it
that
was.
one was just
That's
weird.
It's cute, short time fun. It wasn't
Yeah.
something you sit down with and go, yeah, we're going to play this.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
gimmick. You
tough.
play it and go, okay, that was fun, but I don't need to play that again. That's how I felt with that game. It was kind of like,
That game was like, oh, the Joy-Cons don't feel that good to me. That's what I was like. Oh, like that to me, it highlighted how
and the
weird the
presentation
Joy-Cons
was almost WarioWare style. It was almost awkward, uncanny valley, but I don't think it was trying to be because of the photo real. It was like
it was so interesting, wasn't it?
It was so weird.
It had all those videos of like
Yeah.
the real people in it
I
and
know.
stuff,
It's
and
fascinating.
you're like milking the cow and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's
They
like,
needed
what
to put
is
some
this?
humor on that because
That would have been a cool
it was really
WarioWare
awkward.
game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
That would have been cool if it had a WarioWare
Yeah.
Game and
So,
Wario
anyway,
2.
Nintendo Switch Sports, boom. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Dude, did you see
Sign
since
me
then,
up.
they did the clip of the car busting through the wall?
Yes. Amazing. It's so weird. Yeah.
What is this game?
I know.
Really?
I tell you what,
Yeah.
2022 is the year that Perry becomes a Pokemon and a Kirby fan again.
Fanatic.
Which
Yeah.
is just,
Unexpectedly awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it to death. So
It almost looks like, we talked about this before, it almost looks like it's made by the Odyssey team. I don't think it is. I have no idea if it is, but it looks like it is. It looks like
And that's all that
it's
really matters.
Kirby Odyssey, basically.
yeah.
It's so weird.
And their presentation, Kirby. I mean, you look at the 3DS, all their games, really every single game, every Kirby game ever is incredible looking, right?
Always been gorgeous. Yep.
But like always, the gameplay has never been my sense of style.
Mhm.
I think it'll be fun. Like I was telling you, like with my daughter, she's growing. She's almost to the age where we can play together, and that's going to be great. It's going to be
Is it
amazing going
multiplayer?
back to. I don't know.
Or you
Like
mean just
Star,
taking
I was
turns,
thinking
just having fun?
the Star Allies game is multiplayer. I think it'll be.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
anyway, this is. I mean, but this gameplay, just taking it into 3D, yes, like
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
this is exactly it.
Looks
So
gorgeous.
I'm
Amazing.
really now, of course, it could be bad. I'm not like it could be bad.
Yeah.
I can't see how
It's hard to know.
but I'm definitely like day one. Let's go.
Very interesting. Yeah. Really
Which I
cool.
haven't been for a Kirby game since Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yeah.
So
Which was
or
pretty
maybe
great.
Mass Attack. Mass
Which
Attack
was
was pretty
good.
fun.
And there's that weird 3DS one, which is like a puzzle game. Can't remember what it's called now.
Well, there's so many different Kirby games.
It was 3D, and it was anyway.
Oh yeah,
that's
it was
another
like a
thing.
collection of games, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a collection of games.
Was
or no,
it?
maybe not.
No, I think
forget.
it was a very strange. Anyway, that's a
Yeah.
detour we don't need to go down right now. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I probably wouldn't have even added on our list to talk about if it wasn't for you going bazonkers about.
Yeah, I know. This is so funny. I played the first game on the 3DS, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, and then I haven't touched anything else since. Well, actually, I tried to play the Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, and I just couldn't get into it. And I've had Xenoblade Chronicles 2 physically and the Torna, both those games. I have them sealed that I bought really cheap, $20 each at Target once.
Nice.
And I just was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever play this, but maybe when the baby's born and I'm up at night sitting there, with the baby, maybe I'll play then.
Yeah.
And that was 2 babies ago. And so, but then this, I don't know. It definitely was the fact that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was released, and I just got done playing, quite epic Pokemon game of a pretty hefty RPG, and I was like, I just kind of want another one of those.
Mode, yeah.
Like I'm in that RPG, like bring it on. And yeah, consider me Xenoblade fan.
So you're playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Switch, yeah.
Yes,
and you're loving it, dude. You're giving me these daily updates on your journey with it, and it sounds
bizarre and weird.
It sounds like it's like an onion. It has just so many layers that over like hours later there'll be something new that's added to the game.
Laughable,
like,
yeah. 20 hours in, it unlocks like a new mode, a side mode. Like I was telling you, like it was like 18 hours in, I unlocked like the final thing on my pause menu. Like it was a question mark.
Yeah, incredible.
So it really fun.
That's cool.
Love the story.
So yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say with Xenoblade 3.
That's what I was going to ask. What are your thoughts?
It's funny. I haven't. I'm excited to go back and right now and like now I have a lot more context. Exactly. I need to go back and look at 3 and be like, yeah, that looks cool.
Like, is it even related to 2? Because story wise, maybe it's not. I have no idea, no clue.
I know. It's weird. It's at
least you're able to look at the battle in this footage and understand it more and go,
and I wonder if it's going to be. Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be exactly. So I'm excited for 3. So yeah, I'm even considering like when I'm done with 2, like playing through Torna, playing through Xenoblade 1 again, like
right.
They did the definitive.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting if you go back to all of them now.
Yeah,
and just eating them up because now you're like it just clicked for you.
Yeah, my buddies on my other podcast. They both have said to me that it's their favorite game on the Switch.
Wow.
Xenoblade 2. So it's like there must be something to this, and it is a great game. It's fantastic. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Xenoblade 3. Looking forward to that. Dude, I don't even know when that's coming out, but looks great. I'm excited for it.
And the last thing I had, honey, just to mention, I mean, I'm sure everyone's heard about all of these already, but Mario Kart 8, the Booster Course Past DLC, we're adding 48 levels, right? 48 tracks?
48.
That's kind of amazing. I mean, are they all ridiculous from past games or some of them brand new? I don't know.
I think so.
They're all from past
games? I don't know.
Games?
That's a good question.
But that's
a good question.
What an interesting.
Are there even 48 from the past games to do? That's what
probably. I mean, they've made so many, right? Like pretty much every release has its own set of unique brand new tracks. Only in the last, I'm not going to say recently, but I guess not that really recently in years, but recently in the series have they started adding old tracks, right? Mm-hmm. Was it the DS one when they started doing that? Like there were GBA tracks in that? Or was it the 3DS one? It was DS, right? They started adding old tracks.
They had like 4 cups full of it. It was like, oh my goodness. Think of it this way. There were 16 tracks. And then there were 16 other tracks in there. Yeah. And it was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And now we're getting 48 new. I mean, we haven't had a new Mario Kart game, not counting Tour, the iOS game, since for 8 years, right?
Yeah.
8 years. It's like good night.
It really says a lot business wise that they've done this, right? Like they obviously came out on the Wii U. is huge, is massive. I honestly probably still enjoy the DS and 3DS ones more than the Wii U/Switch ones, even though I recognize the new Mario Kart 8 is incredible. I don't know. It's just so glitzy, so perfect, so polished. It almost loses character for me. I enjoy it, but I'm
Mm.
kind of like,
I know what you mean.
I don't know. It's weird. Anyway,
I know what you
I
mean.
respect it, but I just don't enjoy it as much as the other ones. But yeah, that came out on the Wii U. They ported it obviously and enhanced it for the Switch Deluxe. However many years ago was that? 2017? Did it came out or 18? 17?
2017. Yep.
So it's amazing that now, not doing a new one, just adding more DLC to it. It's like that's saying a
No.
lot. I mean, they must be making bank from that game. Why
Yeah.
release a new game
Well,
when you can
and the
just
weird
feed
thing
it into
is
that
that they're
one?
not going to be getting any money from me, which is weird
Oh,
because it's
right, because
free
it's online. And I
on
guess they're
the.
trying.
And I
Well,
was like
but you're
all ready
paying
to purchase
yearly
it.
for that. So I guess if
I
they
know,
is it
but I pay
$50 a
like
year or how much is
I
that?
pay.
It's not.
It's
It's
well
not a
with me,
lot.
it's like $8 a year because
Is it?
I'm on a family plan with my friends.
Right.
So it's just because you can share it all. So it's like,
Yeah.
man, like that's just kind of weird too.
Yeah.
Because like it's like I would have paid $60 for Mario
Yeah.
Kart 9.
Totally. Right.
So
But it says a lot though, right? Because they're wanting to like for whatever reason, like, yeah, we need to get those online subscribers on there.
hmm
Let's get them this way, right?
hmm
So that must be
yeah,
very meaningful to
I
them,
guess yeah.
financially and everything else. Very interesting.
Yeah, I guess
Very
it's a good
interesting.
idea. Right? I mean, they got other franchises
Yeah.
they can dabble with, but man, Mario
What
Kart.
I mean, Mario Kart 8, they can just re-advertise that every Christmas season and sell another bajillion copies,
Yeah, because it
which is
should be
amazing.
selling 1-in-1 with every new Switch you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
And
the thing.
then, so it's clever because you think about the DLC, they don't necessarily need to make more money from Mario Kart for Mario Kart. So great. How else can we make money somewhere else? Great. Let's just make money for
Right?
online then through
Yeah.
Mario Kart. It's very clever. It's very interesting. It's very kind of telling, right? As far as where their head's
Very
at.
cool,
It's
man.
pretty cool. Anyway, so that's
Yeah.
the highlights I was thinking from the Nintendo Direct,
Nice.
which was fun. I'm sure there's some other ones in there, but they're the ones that piqued my interest anyway. And the final segment of this week's show is playing games. What you playing, Perry?
Like I said, I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, you are.
But like, yeah, I had like this weekend was like a good old fashioned video game weekend. It was fun. Me and my wife,
Yeah.
who is equally enjoying watching me play it. So that's what's really fun. So, and then I'm also playing on my DSi XL, Donkey Kong Jungle Climber.
Oh, wow,
Have you
that's
heard
so
of this game?
random. Yeah,
No,
that's so random.
I'm
It's
always a
such a
fan of.
yeah.
It's so random.
What made
And
you
it's
jump into that?
well, it was one of those things where it's like that's a game I missed out on over the years. I have never played it before, and I
Oh,
bought
okay.
it like off of Facebook like a year ago, and I just had it sitting
Okay.
around. It's like, you know what, I need to play this. So
Yeah.
jumped in, loving it. It's so much fun. It's surprising. Like they really took the, it's like a, you know what it is it's a reskin. It's Clue Land. That's what I don't know. That's actually the
Interesting.
one of the associations. I believe in the first game you can even unlock the character from Clue Land to play as or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, weird, right?
Strange. Yeah.
And now they've really gone full in back to the Donkey Kong Country rare. This game is very much in that rare feeling, which is
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
And it has really funny characters. There's like characters like I think there's like an alien characters
that's
that
called Donkey
look like
Kong-
bananas.
Donkey Kong Jungle Climber?
Jungle Climber, yeah.
Okay.
And it's interesting.
What if that is the one I'm thinking of?
It has it's a sequel to King of Swing. So there's a GBA one that
maybe that's
had
the one I'm
a
thinking
different
of.
style, a very GBA looking style, and this one goes back to the
More
Donkey Kong
rendered.
Country style,
Nice.
render
Yeah.
style, and it's amazing. It's really fun, and it's cool. Like each level, they have the Kong letters.
So weird.
King K. Rool's in it.
I wonder who developed it. I wonder if it was rare. Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Because they
I
weren't.
don't know who developed
They
it.
weren't even doing stuff
But
at that time, were they? But, yeah.
I'm really enjoying it, and it uses the dual screens pretty well too, and there's just a bunch of little modes where it's great. It's really fun. It's just a fun game, and it's surprisingly how it's almost like this game could almost be like in the lineage of Donkey Kong platformers.
Neat.
Weird, it's
right?
not really like a spin-off.
Yeah.
It's like, like the
Interesting.
levels you're going through, you're collecting stuff. It's a pretty legit platformer, just with a weird.
Interesting.
hook of like
developed by
grabbing stuff.
Payon DP, whoever that is. So
No idea.
good job,
But yeah.
Payon DP.
Yes. But Jools, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing, Perry? I have been playing more Pokemon this week. I've been playing Pokemon Let's Go,
Big
Pikachu.
surprise.
Big surprise. I think I mentioned last time that I was going to jump into Pokemon Moon, which I did. And it really pushed me away. Too much flapping, weird kind of level layout to kind of find out where I'm going. It's just like, I don't know, it just wasn't what I was looking for. I mean, it's visually very impressive. I mean, and I love the Hawaiian theme, etc. But I was like, So so the weird thing was I had already pre-ordered Voice of Cards, The Forsaken Maiden, on eShop. And this was Wednesday, the night before that would become available. So I'm like, I don't even know why, but Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu popped into my mind. I'm like, I know I got that at launch and I played it, but I don't have any memory of it. But my memory of it, what it was kind of gimmicky and just kind of childlike. And that was kind of my impression of it, mainly just through other people's opinion of it, honestly, more than my own, because I didn't have a memory of it. So I went back and play it. Love it. Absolutely love it. I haven't even played Voice of Cards yet. I paid for Voice of Cards. I haven't even.
You still haven't played it?
I haven't played it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to play
fun.
it. But yeah. I've been totally playing Let's Go Pikachu, and I should clarify that I'm playing handheld control mode, which is delightful. It more or less feels like a normal Pokemon game. When you play it on the TV or whatever, you cannot use Pro Controller, which is mind-boggling. You have to use a single Joy-Con in a vertical position, so you're jumping between the buttons and the thing. It's horrible. It's the worst control.
Or you hold it
ever.
like
it's ridiculous. It's horrible. So what I was hoping that they would at least do an update by the time I got back to it, where they've actually patched in Pro controllers, but no, they haven't. So anyway, so I'm playing it on handheld mode, and it's great. I love it. The art style is fabulous. The gameplay, it has that funky quirk of when you catch Pokemon, obviously you can see them kind of flutting around, so you bump into them, and it kind of goes into a almost first-person view, I suppose, or it's a mini game where you're just throwing them.
It's like Pokemon Go.
It's like Pokemon Go. Right, exactly. And if you're ready for that kind of quirk on the formula, it's fun. It's a nice little wrinkle,
Yeah.
Anyway, super fun. Really, really enjoying it. It's very traditional, and anyway, so that's what I'm playing, and I'm threatening to play Voice of Cards at some point. But
nice.
I'm on my 4th. I just beat the 4th gym, I suppose, on Let's Go. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Cool. See where it goes.
We're just
I'm really
RPG.
enjoying it.
We're RPG guys.
We really are right now.
We should announce our new RPG.
We should. Yeah.
We kind of have already announced our RPG.
Good point. I know what you're talking about.
Pedadachi.
It really is kind of an RPG flavor.
It's probably our most RPG game yet. So
probably.
Fun. Yeah. And the Pokemon is no way going to influence the further development of Pedadachi.
Not at all. Not in any way. Not at all. Cool, man. Well, I think that probably does it for this week of Atooi Talks, Perry Thousand.
Very cool.
It has been a pleasure to hang out with you once again and talk games, my friend.
It's funny because like my windows are so white back here because it's just the lighting and stuff. But it actually did snow, and so it actually is.
Oh wow,
white with snow back there.
You know what's crazy? Today it's 84 degrees here.
What?
It is beautiful. I went outside and I'm like, oh, and it's going to get cold again. But right now it's 84. It is.
It's like
a summer
day.
The
wind came in and brought a bunch of it, and there's a sheet of ice over everything.
Oh wow!
It's just the worst. Get out of here.
That's crazy.
I want to move down there.
You should.
Jools, I'm moving in. I'm coming to Texas.
Do it. But then it's going to jump down to 30s again, I think, in the future. So it's it's insane. Here. Yeah. Okay. We're staying. All right, man. Good chatting with you. And see you again next week for more fun.
Giddy up.
Boosh.